Hello, John Allen with Blade, here to talk with you about our managed cybersecurity offerings. These offerings were created to help those companies looking to improve their cybersecurity posture. These needs often fall into three categories. The companies that want to do better, basically those who aren't held by any regulatory compliance but want to be better protected. Those companies that need to do better, these companies are often held to a higher standard, such as those who work in the legal field, insurance agencies, or other protected information industries, and companies required to do better. These companies are often governed by regulatory compliance such as HIPPA, FINRA, CMMC, etc. For this video, we'll be focusing on CyberSecurity Advanced. This offering has one purpose: to put you on the path to regulatory compliance. For those companies that must adhere to a set of guidelines and rules, this is the only way forward. The CyberSecurity Advanced offering includes advanced multifactor authentication. This helps take your multifactor authentication to another level and not just protect your Office 365, but your desktops, your documents, and communication methods such as email, with two factors of authentication. So you can utilize your phone in conjunction with a password and really make it impossible for another person to get in without that second factor. Web content filtering. This ensures that your end users are protected from spyware and malware and other critical cyber vulnerabilities while giving them freedom to browse the web. Basically, keep them on the websites they're supposed to be on and keep them off the websites they're not supposed to go to, or websites that may be malicious. Advanced security incident monitoring. We want to protect your network from unauthorized attempts to access company data no matter where the attempt originates. And then, if a breach does occur, be able to track backwards to find out the point of origin. We want to give your end users training. We want to give them the education they need to fight back against social engineering and other types of malicious activity. Basically, teach them the things they should click, the things they shouldn't click, and don't tell people your password, stuff like that. We want to enable an advanced email protection system consisting of a next level anti-spam, cloud email archive, cloud email backup, increased protection against phishing, and then take all of those things and enable real-time policy modification to block those known assailants. So if you get an email that has a vulnerability in it and someone clicks on it in your organization and the spam filter goes, whoa, hang on, then it's going to tell the archive and the backup through a policy to stop that email and delete it from the backup, delete it from the archive, and just not let it in the network again. We want to give you a next generation antivirus. So we want to take your antivirus from reactive to proactive. We want to increase your security at each endpoint with an antivirus capable of stopping not only the known but the unknown threats before they become a problem. We want to enable endpoint hardening. We want to allow your users the freedom to remove and install programs without risking your security, but we want to give them access when they need it and when we deem it safe. We want to give your company dark web monitoring. And through dark web monitoring, you're going to be alerted when stolen credentials or information that could compromise your network appear on the dark web. And that's really a fancy way of saying if someone's email address shows up for sale on the dark web, and that email address is in conjunction with either their name and their phone number or even their password, we want to know that, because if they get their email and their password and they've used that email and password in combination at another site, or maybe it's very recent and they haven't changed it, that is a point of infiltration for people. We want to enable the end user to go change that quickly. Mobile device management. We want to keep your company's mobile devices secure and under control at all times. So we want to make sure that the company assets stay protected and stay secured. Encryption, we want to increase the level of security on your laptops and desktops and servers by encrypting the data stored on those devices. So make it near to impossible for someone to physically pull the information off of them. Persistent threat monitoring. We want to be, and you to be notified of any anomalous behavior on your network. If someone does get in, this is really the only way you're going to know, and it also allows us to see if someone's trying to get in on a continuous basis, and allows us to remediate that or figure out how to stop them. Internal continuous vulnerability scanning. This will allow us to be notified of any vulnerabilities on your internal systems as soon as they're exposed and before they're exploited. So before someone has a chance to attack that particular vector, we're notified of it and we can remediate that problem before it becomes a problem. Give you a managed firewall. We want the firewall to be something that's in place, something that you never have to worry about the license renewals or the hardware upgrades again. We're going to provide an enterprise-grade unified threat management firewall to secure your gateway. Identity access management. We want to know who is on the network and what type of things they can access. So we always want to know who has access to things and if they're who they say they are. We want privilege access management. We never want to worry about who has administrative privileges to something. Again, we always want to know when and how things are done on the network and by whom. So by enabling privilege access management, we can say, okay, well, you should have access to this, you shouldn't, and track that information. We're going to provide in-person security training. Online training is a great first step in training your end users, and we want to take you to the next level of training by providing an on-site instructor for your user base. First-hand security training is the answer to a safer network, flat out. So if we provide an in-person training session to your end users, they're going to absorb that a lot easier than they will from an online training source. Finally, we're going to include VCISO services. This is the most important portion of the CyberSecurity Advanced, and it's really how you're going to get from I have the items in place to I am meeting my requirements. We're going to do quarterly evaluations of system settings, yearly evaluations of policies. The big one is going to be the policy and procedure optimization, and we do up to tier 5, and we can explain more about what that is. That will get you to a place where I say I'm going to do it, I prove I'm going to do it, and I do it. We do internal vulnerability reviews, internal risk assessments, and external vulnerability scans. And these are all just the beginning of what your VCISO will do with you. Again, this is the CyberSecurity Advanced offering from Blade. My name's John Allen, and thanks for joining me.